Never once have I thought I'd need to start a review with an epilepsy warning, but like an escaped kangaroo running rampant through a small Wisconsin town, there is a first time for everything. And yes, that's a real thing that happened, look it up. His name is Chesney, and he is so cute I want to squeeze him until he kicks my teeth in, but I digress. The point is that whether you decide to play TAMASHIKA or not, to call its landscape warping, pixel vomit spray of color across your screen merely overstimulating is akin to calling the menu at the Cheesecake Factory kind of large. It understates the meaning of the word so egregiously as to hardly make it worth using at all. TAMASHIKA is insane. It shoves a firecracker between your ears and then has the audacity to demand your undivided attention. It feels like the end result of somebody finding the game post-void to not be intense enough. It plays like the realization of what it might be like to take hallucinogenic drugs without actually doing so. It is demanding, uncompromising, unforgiving, and frankly, one of the most original and exhaustingly fun shooters I have played in ages. Very few games are not for everyone quite as confidently as TAMASHIKA is not for everyone, but if you're willing to trust its process and take a hit of whatever it's smoking without asking too many questions, this is a journey you will not soon forget. Don't forget your favorite human content creators in an era swarming with low-quality AI slop either though. If you want to help support what we do, liking the video and subscribing to the channel is an amazing start. And those who want to go that extra mile might want to check out our Patreon, where a subscription gets you perks like Discord community access, early and ad-free weekly shows, and much more. At its core, TAMASHIKA is a game about focus. It generates a series of rapid-fire challenges to test that focus while intentionally distracting you with psychotically fast enemies, trippy world-warping visuals, and levels that pulse with an energy seemingly born of your own racing heartbeat. You can see all of this before your eyes, but it probably makes no sense, so let's deconstruct it, shall we? You'll start TAMASHIKA with a series of levels dubbed Awaken, where you'll learn its mechanics piece by piece before it throws you to the figurative wolves. These levels are only as quick as your skill in completing them, in my case not quick at all, because TAMASHIKA's mechanics, while polished, are not what I'd call immediately intuitive. In your right hand, you have a gun. No loadouts or choices of arsenal, just one gun. In your left hand is a knife. You'll use it to parry bullets and enemy melee attacks, and you better get used to it. Just in case you missed it, that word was parry, in this case with a capital P. Parrying is almost as important as shooting in TAMASHIKA, and arguably even more so. Parry haters will want nothing to do with this game and the uniquely precise series of knife swings that will be required to get to the end in one piece. Even as a self-professed parry lover, the timing required here took a serious effort to get used to, though eventually became second nature. While some enemies are parry to kill, most of them will need to be shot, and lack of accuracy will be punished. I played much of the game with a controller since I mostly play single-player shooters, and that's just how I prefer them. Come at me, bro. With a controller in hand, TAMASHIKA has extremely aggressive aim assist that snaps right to each enemy as you're about to pull the trigger, and frankly, while some may wish for an option to toggle this off or lighten it a bit, for others it is a blessing in disguise. That's because the walls in TAMASHIKA represent your energy level, which drains every time you're hit, or a stray bullet misses an enemy and hits the environment, making the screen lurch with a momentarily pain-draining of color. On the other hand, successfully killing enemies builds that energy level up, lessening the chance of desynchronizing from the experience. That aim assist felt significantly reduced or eliminated when playing with keyboard and mouse, though I played that way infrequently enough that it was hard to tell for sure. Believe it or not, that pretty much covers the gameplay. You'll shoot, you'll reload, you'll parry with your knife, and ideally you'll do this so quickly that you'll forget why blinking has ever been a thing. Per the developer's own instructions, TAMASHIKA is not a game to be played in long sessions and discourages this as much as possible. There are barely any settings worth mentioning, and none that I found would meaningfully tone down the merciless visual noise guiding every moment of the experience. Anybody interested in the game but seeking accessibility options to turn down the chaos is going to be sorely disappointed. TAMASHIKA is designed to be played on its own terms and makes those terms uncompromising in a way that few others do. This makes its presentation an acquired taste, but one that I warmed up to surprisingly quickly. Make no mistake, even a half-hour session is probably too long and is bound to make the room spin, but the way its visuals flow and its thumping soundtrack pulses in the background helped me sink into a flow state that few games can accomplish, especially in such a short play session. It also runs fantastically on Steam Deck, gotta throw that out there for my fellow deckheads. Trippy aesthetics aside, the structure of TAMASHIKA is actually the greatest motivator to keep play sessions short, because the entire game is one level that randomly changes each day. There are days where it took me 4 minutes to get to the end, and days where constant restarts made it take 20 minutes or more. It's ostensibly the opposite of a morning meditation, instead a tense, aggressive, demanding daily routine whose reward is one hell of a dopamine hit when you finally reach the end, only to do it again tomorrow. Once you get past the tutorials in Awaken mode, you can play Ascend mode, which takes you through the daily level with a couple of extra lives that will revive you at checkpoints so as to practice the run. Transcend mode is then the same level but a less forgiving no checkpoints experience designed to let you vie for a spot on the leaderboard. Let's not mince words. In some ways, there isn't a whole lot of game here. It is one level that changes daily, yet does have some occasional surprises that I won't spoil here. Just know that every day I played it during my review period was an absolute joy, and it was a daily routine that I look forward to continuing for as long as I can reasonably manage. But there is no proper campaign, no multiplayer, and no real story. It's a minimalist shooter with a maximalist vibe, and I'm convinced there is nothing out there quite like it. On our scale, ranging all the way from the dreadful indie Krampus that nobody wants to the golden genie lamp of approval reserved only for the best of the best, Tamashika is a unique, intense, and deeply satisfying shooter that gets significant mileage out of its focused design and earns itself the silver genie lamp of approval.